You know, when I left the military, I thought I'd finally be free. But back home in America, that freedom came with a price: stress, inflation, and a cost of living that just kept climbing. Today, I want to talk about why me, as a U.S. veteran, Air Force veteran that is, chose to build a new life here in Vietnam, and why it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made. So, um, I serve my country proudly. Yes, the United States is my country and always will be. Um, you may hear people out there on TikTok or YouTube um, that were born and raised in the U.S., now living in Vietnam. Is out there talking trash about the U.S., but I will never do that. I was born here in Vietnam, migrated to the United States with my parents when I was young. I am who I am today for the most part because of the United States. So you will never hear me talk trash about the United States, especially when I, you know, am one of those, and there are many of us that sign on that dotted line, on that blank check to serve and to protect the freedom that many of these people thoroughly enjoy, but are now out there talking trash about it. I'm not that guy. I will never be that guy. Anyways, I serve my country proudly. The discipline, the teamwork, the missions, it shapes who I am. But after the service, I started asking myself, what's next? Um, I did odd jobs. I utilized my GI Bill, my post 9/11 GI Bill. I got my bachelor degree in psychology because at the time I was thinking about going into the VA, with my psych degree and start helping other veterans with, PTSD and whatever else. But I soon found that just a BA in psychology ain't gonna get you anywhere. You have to get at least a master's. So I took a break. I told myself I'm gonna reward myself with a short break. I was thinking a month, but that short break ended up to almost 3 years later that I went back to school. But instead of getting my master in psychology, I went for business. So I got my MBA. Um, Anyways, enough about me. Um, I had my VA benefit. I have a disability rating. It's not great. Um, and all the resources that tells you about. But in reality, it was expensive just to live. Mind you, I started out in Southern California, Orange County, and I had a family at the time. Uh, so I was working, going to school. Um, yep, rent, insurance, healthcare, grocery, everything felt like a constant battle just to keep up. You know what I mean? Um, by the way, thank you, Maya Beach Bar, for allowing me to sit here and film at their location. Um, I am currently using a DJI mic. Um, Anyhow, let's keep going. Um, so, let's see. Cost of living. Let's talk numbers, okay? Because that's what most veterans ask me about, and not just vet, expat too. I help everybody. By the way, just so you don't have to be a veteran to reach out to me. You can be anybody. I help everyone. So in the U.S., right, the average rent for a one-bedroom apartment is over 1,700 a month. Right here in Da Nang City, I pay 350 bucks for a one bedroom. It comes with Wi-Fi. Water is $100,000, 100K, 100K a month, which is about roughly $4, $3.90, because every $100 is 2.7 something mil VND right now. Fully furnished, 5 minutes from the beach, 5 minutes from where I'm sitting right now. Right now I am staring at the beach. The beach is right there. Uh, a meal that will cost $20 in the U.S. here it's under $3, right? Let's see, monthly cost of living in the U.S. It's easy to spend $3,000 to $4,000 a month just to stay comfortable. And that also depends on where you are in the states too. I don't think you can do that in California, um, but here in Vietnam, you can live well, really well, on just 1,000, 1,500, or 2K, 2K a month. And you know the thing too, there's no protests, there's no gunshots, there's no car chase. Down the 405 or the 605 or the 110 or the 101. None of that crap. Yes, there are crimes here. There are petty crime, pickpocketer, but in general, here in Da Nang City, you're safe. For example, let me tell you a story about a friend of mine. He's a Marine veteran. Got here. Um, he's been here over a month now. But the first week he was here, he had his fanny pack, or his little pouch where he carried all his stuff, his credit card, his um, cash, his passport. So he was at a cafe. He left it there. 45 minutes later, he came back. It was still there. So, for small town, small coastal city like Da Nang, you are very safe. Um, I cannot say the same for Saigon or Ho Chi Minh City because it's, big city. Um, I've seen, pickpocketers. I've seen where people are standing at a stoplight, get their phone snatched right out of their hands while they're, trying to look up direction. So it does happen. But no, it's not like a constant thing like in the U.S. So think about it, right? Just let's speak. Let's speak about the veterans benefit. For someone, uh, let's say you are at 70% disability. That's what? That's 15 to 2K a month that you're getting for life. That's very comfortable. You can stretch that money 3 times further here in Vietnam. And you can save some of it. You can invest some of it. You can put some of that away somewhere and still be able to breathe, still be able to go to the beach, go to the waterfall, go to Hoi An, go to Hue, still able to take, a flight out of Hong Kong or the Philippines or Thailand or Cambodia or wherever. You're still able to do all of that. Back home, just to, you have to work and work and work just to save money for a trip to, Hawaii, um, or wherever you go, Vegas, Florida, summer vacation, spring break. Um, and the thing too is that here, let's say you make $1,000 a month, right? And you go to the grocery store and you see an item, uh, like an apple. It's 10,000 VND. When you go up to the counter and pay, it's gonna be 10,000 VND. It ain't gonna be 1099, or there ain't gonna be no tax on top of the money that you made that's already been taxed. You know what I mean? So enough about that. Let's move on to the next critical item that I get asked a lot: healthcare. Right? In America, a simple medical visit can cost you hundreds, if not thousands, without insurance, or even with insurance. Here, a doctor consultation costs you $10. I went and get my teeth cleaned the other day, $13. And it's not like in the States where, oh, you have to call your dental office, make an appointment that's going to be like 3 months later just for a cleaning. No. Here you call or you just walk in, bam, 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 done. $13 later, you have a new set of teeth. Clean. Medicine here, very affordable. And if in case you have to stay at the hospital, it is extremely affordable. I've seen it firsthand twice with a friend of mine that went down on his scooter. Um, it's not gonna cost an arm and a leg. So you you know the when speaking about health, healthcare, and medical insurance and whatnot, let's be honest here. The thing that kills us is stress. Think about that, right? Let me say that again. The thing that kills us is stress. And where are all of those stress comes from? From bills, from work, from the constant grind in the States. Here in Vietnam, I guarantee you, I promise you that stress goes away. Somehow, as soon as you land here in Vietnam, it disappears. You don't have the stress. So you're not going to be sick. You're not going to be, constantly worrying. Let me tell you, I've never slept better. I have never smiled more. Back in the States, you go to work, you go home, you go home, you make dinner, you eat. You turn on that TV for a little bit, back to sleep. In the morning, you got to wake up, take the kids to school, get to work before, your boss knows, find out that you wake up late or I'm sorry, you showed up late. Um, um, don't mind me fumbling because I'm just, talking off my brain here. Um, but let's be real. I don't want it to be scripted or anything. Quality of life. Living here isn't just cheap, it's richer, right? The people here are warm, friendly, welcoming, and respectful, especially towards veterans. I've been here in Vietnam over a year, but here in Da Nang, a little bit over 5 months. And not once have I ran into a situation where, I, I'm confronted by someone that does not like foreigners or veterans. Okay? As a Vietnamese American myself, coming back wasn't about escaping the US, it was about rediscovering roots. I came here for that purpose, actually, to rediscover roots, rebuilding connections, and finding balance. And I found all of that and more. There's a saying out there, my cup runneth over. All right? Um, you'll find a sense of community here, very much, um, which is hard to come by back home. Back home, right? You get home from work, open up the garage, drive your car in there, the garage come down. That's it. You don't see your neighbor doesn't see you, and then the next day you do it all over again. But here, whether it's a local neighbors inviting you into coffee or just to have dinner, it does happen here. Now, some things to consider before moving here. Vietnam isn't perfect. No place is. You need to have an understanding of the visa requirement, healthcare options, and how to access your VA benefit while living overseas. So, Vietnam does not have a VA facility, okay? However, if you are still pursuing your VA rating, the upgrade, whatever, the VA will allow you to seek out CMP exam here in Vietnam. All right? They will. I've talked to the VA. You can live here in Vietnam while pursuing your VA rating upgrades or whatever VA rating benefits. But um, if you want to be sure, um, make sure you get that VA rating that you like before you move. That's just um, and come here on a 3 month visa. Check it out. Live here. What's the worst? If you don't like it, go back. That ain't gonna hurt. Let's touch base on the veteran issue a little bit longer here, okay? Us veteran, we spent years serving others, following orders, protecting freedom, blah blah blah, which is great, all right? But to be honest with you, all the medal that you earn, all the achievement medal, Purple Heart. Let's not. Let me go back. I won't touch on the Purple Heart, but all those medals and ribbons that you earn in the military, out there in the civilian world, they don't care. They care that you are able to do the job that they are hiring you for. None of that ribbons or medals gonna get you anywhere. Agree? So, with that said, now it is time to serve ourselves. Vietnam offers something that money alone cannot buy: peace of mind, connections, and possibility. Here, your dollar stretches further. I touch I touched on this already, but I don't mind repeating it. Your time slows down, right? And your purpose expands. It's not about running away from America. It's about designing a life that honors both where we came from and where we're going next. Here in Vietnam, you are able to live your life on your own terms. You can go when you please, come when you please. No one's gonna do anything to you. You can sit in the street and drink a beer, and the local police is not gonna do anything to you. Mind you, you have to be respectful of your community. Pick up after yourself, clean up your own trash, don't start trouble. As long as you follow the rules, respect the culture, respect your community, nothing's gonna happen to you. Um, what time do we have here? Oh, it's almost 8 o'clock. Oh, it is 8 o'clock a.m. here in Vietnam. I gotta get to coffee with the boys, so enough about my ranting this morning on Veterans Day. But in closing, to my federal veterans, if you're tired, burnout, or just ready for a change, I want you to know there's another way. You serve your country, you've earned your freedom. Now maybe it's time to live it. I'm living it right now. And I'm not even 100% rating, but I'm living it. I moved here to Vietnam over a year ago, and I am still living the life, right? Vietnam welcomed me with open arms, and I believe it can do the same for you. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're veterans thinking about making the move, reach out to me at Operation Danang. I am on TikTok at Operation Danang, and I am also on YouTube as Operation Danang. I am on Instagram too, in case you need to hit me up on there. But my email, operationdanang at gmail.com. If you want to reach me on WhatsApp, my WhatsApp number is 626 366 8997. All right? Again, thank you for watching. Reach out to me. I'll help you explore what's possible because you've already served your mission. Now it's time to live your purpose. Thank you, everybody.